Jason Heyward hit his second home run of the spring against the Rockies. We all know what he did last year, kind of subpar to be honest. Year one of his 8-year, $184 million contract. You see the numbers. Batted only .230, 7 home runs. This spring, Heyward not too much better, 152. Dylan, do you think Heyward's performance will be the biggest factor in determining if the Cubs repeat, or should we pump the brakes on that?
No, you got to pump the brakes. Look, he sucked last year. They won the World Series. So obviously, this doesn't have a factor.
Who needs Heyward?
Yeah, plus you get Schwarber back. I mean, I know you're
that's
losing.
Huge.
Yeah, and I know you're losing Dexter Fowler, and there's some moving parts. There's no more Soler, and you get some other people in there, and no more Chapman, but you have Wade Davis. But as far as the lineup goes and what kind of offensive output you're going to get, you didn't get anything from last year. You still won the World Series because you had Bryant, the NL MVP, because Rizzo was so good. Zobrist, tremendous all year long. But Baez's going to be in the lineup every day now, which wasn't big like last year. We saw what he was capable of all postseason, World Baseball Classic. He's locked in. And then you got Schwarber, who we think is going to lead off for the Cubs. That lineup's going to be fine. If Jason Heyward gives him anything,
that's a bonus, right?
It's a bonus.
That's extra. That's icing on the cake. What? And
Doyle,
cherry on top.
Yeah. Doyle said to me the other day, I thought it was an interesting point. It's almost like you signed Heyward this year because you got literally nothing from him last year. I mean, there were guys with better months than Heyward had last year, the whole season. Man, 237 home runs, less than 50 RBIs. My gosh, for the amount of money he got. Good thing he played a good defense, and good thing he gave that hell of a speech there in the rain delay in Game 7. He earned every bit of his money with that one speech, apparently, because that will go down in history. Who knows what the hell he said, but he fired up the boys. And from the least likely source coming that speech, a guy that just didn't produce all year. But it is almost like getting a free agent, because if you get anything from him, it's a bonus. It's a cherry on top. But I think they can afford another down year from him, but obviously you want to see some sort of production.
And you would have to think it can't get any worse. Like, there is no lower, there is no worse. Like, you don't think the guy can hit 4 or 5 home runs. Like, he only hit 7 home runs. No. Like, you don't think he can hit 200. Like, if he starts to hit 200.
He's literally not going to play.
Right, we have to have with some serious issues then.
And I hate when teams feel financially obligated to play people because they've paid people.
For sure.
I understand where that comes from. But for me, you just got to play your best players. Mm-hmm. And if he is more in the form of last year or worse than last year, he's not going to play. He's going to collect a great check because it's guaranteed money throughout Major League Baseball, but he's not going to play. He shouldn't play. And there's too many other guys with Almora and Zobrist's going to be playing some outfield, Schwarber, Heyward, and there's just a lot of guys there that he will find his way out of that lineup if he's not producing. We know he's a hell of a defender. That's how he stayed in the lineup for much of last year when he wasn't hitting. But this will be interesting to see if he can kind of put last year behind him. So far, not so much in the spring, but no one really cares about the spring. We'll see what happens once the real thing starts.
No doubt about it. We'll see how it plays.